It's time for brakes on my 2017 Grizzly. It's a 700. I'm just going to pop the wheels off here. I've got the brads. It's $225 for a set of brakes, not like all four all the way around. Which needs to be done, so I guess I'll get at her. 12mm bolt. There's two bolts on the calipers in behind. There's one on top. There's one down the bottom there. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. There's a right there. There's a flat plug. You need a flat screwdriver to get it out. You take that out, and then behind it, it's a 5mm hex head. You got to take that out to get the pads off. I don't know how good you can see it, but there's a 5mm bolt in there, and it's got a tail on it. It goes through here, holds one side of your pad on. The other side of your pad just hooks over top of that. You don't have to take that off. That's what the bolt looks like that I was telling you about. It goes in there and it holds your pad on the one side. So once you have that bolt out, these things just turn out like this. See how it sits on that end? Just pick them off. And there they are. That's the outside one. And this is the inside one. It's much the same setup as any disc brakes. You have to push the caliper back to put the pad on. I just use the C-clamp. You put the old pad in there, then you put the C-clamp on like this. You push the piston back. Just be careful you push it slow and straight. And you just slide it back together, just the same as doing a pickup. Slide it over there and put your bolts back in the back. And then of course you got to tighten this pin back in and put the dust seal back in the end, and that's it. This is for the front brakes. Try not to lose this little cap that goes in the end of the stud that holds your pads on. That hole there. Because it makes life so much easier if that thing's not full of dirt. Tighten the caliper bolts back up and one side's done. I forgot to mention I was working on the other side. Before you take the caliper off, loosen this the pin bolt that holds the pads on. It makes it a lot easier than trying to hold it while it's not fastened. Done the other side on the front now. It doesn't take long as everything goes good, nothing's bent or seized. Maybe 10 minutes a side. Moving on to the back brakes now. They're basically the same. They're just a little more ignorant to get at because you can't turn it out like the front. It's pretty well the same as with the front. I have the C-clamp on there. I don't know where you can see, but I put the old pad back in against the piston. Then you just crank her in and push it back. Can't see it very good, but anyway. That's what you do. You put it over it like that so that you're pushing on it straight. Push on the old pad and just turn it easy and she goes in. The back ones are a little bit harder to do than the front ones just because of the bolts are harder to get at in the caliper. But the rest of it's basically the same. Once you get it off, it's the same thing, about 10 minutes maybe. I did all four wheels. It took me a little over an hour. But anyway, she's done. Good to go again for another. I had 4,000 clicks on it before I had to do the brakes.